is actually celebrating today. So thank you for taking the time. I'll try to keep it short today, and I'll be asking some information from everybody joining. So first of all, I want to say well done for this first week. We kicked it off well. I see a lot of screenshots coming in into the group, and I see at the Strava app, we are getting a lot of kilometers in. What I want to hear from you, and again, you can leave that in the chat box, is how's your first week? Tell me one good thing that you have experienced from the last week. By the way, I just looked up the statistics in the Strava app. If you're not in the app yet, I would highly suggest downloading the app so you can join in. We've already done more than 150 kilometers as a group. So very well done. Please let me know one good thing that you've experienced. So for me, I retook my beep test. Higher last time. What about everybody here? Can you leave me one experience for this week? Maybe the running was a lot easier. Maybe you were just lucky enough to dodge some rain. Maybe you weren't as sore as you thought you were. Five kilometers for the first time. That is really good. So very much congratulated. I know how it feels to get to a milestone like that. Very well done. Are you running on a treadmill or outside? Outside. I see that it's very mixed. We still have a lot of people running on the treadmill. Both, of course, are equally viable, equally valuable for your training. Now, another question, and I would expect everybody to give me a quick reply here. Did you complete all runs that you wanted to complete this week? Just give me a yes or a no in the chat box. So for me, I planned to do 3 runs on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I did actually complete that. And I did a bit more than I was supposed to do. Let's go ahead and type either yes if you were able to stick to your goals, or a no if you were not able to do that. First, yes. So excellent. Not yet, but we'll complete tomorrow. What about the other participants? No need to be shy. Supposed to have 3 runs, but only did 1. So we'll give a little bit more time for the rest to respond, and then we'll move on to the next part. And I'll tell you, if you have answered no to this, what can be some suggestions for you? So not yet. So here again, it's quite mixed. Some people have been able to do it. Some people have not been able to do it. So if you were able to say yes, very well done. It's not easy to actually stick to what you think you will do. Sometimes it can be harder than expected. Sometimes other activities come into the place of what you were supposed to do. All these things are very normal. If you answered no, I have a couple of suggestions for you for the coming week to make sure that it's a little bit easier Number one would be to find a run buddy for the coming week. And also make sure that if you are each other's run buddy, even if it's virtual, you can still keep each other accountable. So make sure that you give each other a reminder about we should be running today or should be running tomorrow, and ask each other for a screenshot of the Strava app or just a photo, as some of us do from the treadmill. Number two, write down your goals somewhere that you will actually see them daily. Sometimes we have the thought in our mind to do a certain thing, but then it kind of just slips away to the background of the mind. It can be very helpful to write a note, can be an alarm in your clock, or actually just the old school, write it on a piece of paper and then stick it on the fridge so that you can see it every day. Three, find out what the problem is and adapt to it. Now, I already heard a little bit back from people that sometimes the time is difficult, cannot run in the evening, things happen, work is longer, or there's a certain appointment or a social event you want, and then you decide not to run. In those cases, I would really recommend everybody to try running in the morning, because in especially the early morning, it's nice and cool, and there is nobody to try and take some of your time, right? In the early morning when everybody is still asleep, that is the most peaceful part of the day to run. So every week we have a runner of the week. This time we have Mr. Leon, or Lion, I want to say, because he is, I believe, one of the 20K runners, and he actually ran more than 20 kilometers on the first day already. So he's pretty much ready to go. We ask all the runners that are featured for a lesson on what makes them successful at running. And this quote was to do it now, because sometimes later becomes never. If you have somebody in mind that can be our featured runner for next week, please let me know, and otherwise we'll choose somebody and approach them to ask them for their secret to success. Another thing I wanted to mention is some of you have had an issue with being stuck in quarantine. If you're listening right now, can you tell me a yes if you're able to run? And tell me no, or tell me that you are in quarantine, because I would like to have an idea of how many people are actually stuck inside the house, because we will need to find a solution for that. Is anybody here in the chat now stuck, or is everybody able to run? So if I may assume that everybody is able to run, I will still give this little shout to everybody explanation for those that cannot run. I have a solution for that. I'm going to add some workouts that you can do inside your home. I'll just play this without sound right now, but this is one workout that you can do at home. It is called Death By. I know it's not very tempting, say, put the subtitles on it, but a very tempting name. But the idea is that you use your body weight only to train your strength and your endurance. If you know what a burpee is, you already know this is going to be a tough workout. If not, I have another bunch of videos with instructionals as well, so I can explain how how the exercise is doing. But the idea is very simple. Together as a group, if you would like me to organize this, we'll go through this workout. And on minute number 1, the idea is just to do 1 burpee. And then we will spend a minute waiting or running in place, or maybe shadow boxing, whatever it might be. And then we do 2 burpees. And on minute number 3, we do 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6. You don't need anything for that. You can have a really good workout. I hear some background noise. I'm just going to. Okay. Very good way to still be able to work out. So would you be interested in adding a workout like this to these kind of sessions? Let me know in the in the chat box if you would like to do a workout virtually led by me, where we just train from our living room, basically, focus on body weight and work on strength and endurance a bit more. So feel free to let me know in the chat box a yes or a no. You're interested in doing an additional workout. All right, so that's a clear yes. So that is good to know. I'll keep that in the background, and I'll communicate that with the rest of the team so we can set something up. If we're doing a workout together, would you prefer it to be in the morning, afternoon, or evening? I'll come back with this question later on in the chat box as well. In the meantime, on the slide here on the screen, you can see the running goals for the coming week. I see evenings coming through. Feel free to answer if you haven't done that yet. In the meantime, I'll explain about this week's goals. So just like last week, the idea for coming week is to run 3 times. If you're in the 5K runner group, the total distance you're going to be running is 5 kilometers. So that is total, meaning the first run will be 2 kilometers. The second run will be 1 kilometer only. The third run will be 2 kilometers. For the 10K runners, 10K total distance. For the 20K runners, 10K total distance. Now there's a little bit of a bonus option here. If you look at the left side, it is optional to change one run for a beep test. I've posted about the beep test in the Telegram group, and there's a video link there as well. The idea of a beep test is that you run back and forward between a couple of cones at the sign of a beep. So you'll start at one side of the cone. There's an app that we use for this, and the beeps get faster after every minute. So you start and you beep and you run to the other cone, and then you wait at the cone and beep and you run back. Very easy at the start, but every minute the speed becomes faster. And after a while, you will not be able to make it from cone to cone before the next beep. If that happens, the test is done and you get a score, which indicates your fitness. You can do this outside. You can also do it on a treadmill, and I would highly recommend you do this at the start of the training program so that you can have an idea of what your level of fitness is like. And later on, you can do it again to see if you're actually improving. So if you want to, change one of the runs to a beep test. Now, today we're going to talk about recovery. And the main area that I want to focus on today is a massage. I am a big fan of massages. As a physiotherapist, I do a lot of massages as well myself. Well, who you see here in the photo is Sovat. He is working with us. He is a master massage therapist. He is blind, Cambodian, very, very skilled, and a great guy as well. Have you ever had a massage performed by blind people here in Cambodia? Can you let me know in the chat box if you like massages? Yeah, this is a fairly easy question. Of course, most people do. What do you like about massages? How do you feel after? Pain is reduced. Of course, tension of muscles is able to go down. We can restore the normal softness of the muscle. It can be good for blood circulation. Feeling relaxed, feeling refreshed, the mind can rest as well. All very good effects and benefits from massage. Now, these days, of course, very difficult to find a massage somewhere. Many places are closed. I find that some people don't feel comfortable going to a massage place. So what do? You do it yourself. So there's a couple of ways to do it. I'll show you a video here. What you see is you see something called SMR, or foam rolling for easy, and it's a form of self-massage. So if you imagine the type of techniques that massage therapists use, the pressing maybe with the thumbs or pressing with the elbows, you can all do that yourself with something very simple called a foam roller. So here I'll give a demonstration in this video for the front of the legs. And on the right-hand side, you can also see the areas of pain that you can feel if you have an issue in those muscles. Sometimes where the muscle itself is hurt or overused, that's not the only place where you can feel pain. So sometimes you can feel pain in and around the joint, for example, the knee joint, but actually it comes from the muscle. The joint doesn't really have a problem. It is the muscle that is the problem. And if that is the case, by working on it, by massaging that muscle, you can, as you already saw yourself, you can reduce pain, you can increase flexibility, you can help with the blood flow, you can help with flexibility even. Yeah, very simple technique, but it can be a little bit painful when you start. Now, is there anybody here in the chat that has never seen a foam roller before? It was interesting because for me, this is something that is very much almost as important as the training itself. So when we train with clients at our studio, it's always part of the trainings. Well, we will do a little bit of cardio training to get somebody warmed up. Afterwards, we'll do some self-massage. Sometimes we do it later on or at the end of the session, but we will definitely do some self-massage. And then afterwards, we train strength or flexibility, etc. So it's always very surprising to me, even though it's very often that people have no idea that this exists. You can buy these nowadays at Decathlon. The one that you see in the video is actually a bit pricey. It's about $40, but you can nowadays get them at Decathlon for about 7 or 10 or 15, depending on the type of material that you want. And you'll be very surprised at the start, if you've never done this before, how effective it can be and also how painful it can be sometimes. This is something that I highly recommend everybody to try the coming week. If you don't have a foam roller, I'll type this in the chat box as well. If you don't have a foam roller, option one, of course, is to get one. Get one from Decathlon. Option two is find something similar, like a water bottle. Can be frozen if you want it to be nice and cold, and maybe a little bit harder. Some people use a rolling pin. A rolling pin is used to make pizza. And some people use another bottle. I know people that use a glass bottle, like a bottle of wine, but I do not recommend that in case it bursts. And what you see here on the background is a list of videos that I made for everybody here, where you can find different massage techniques. So you can learn how to self-massage the foot, how to self-massage the upper legs, how to self-massage the outside of the leg called the IT band, and also the lower legs, so the calf muscles. There's also a ebook that I will show you right now. We wrote an ebook about this a while ago, and I thought this would be a very good moment to share that with you as well. Let's see, where is it? Okay, give me one moment. Let's see where I left it. So yeah, if you have the screen in front of you, please let me know in the chat once you can see, because I have the file, the book that we have open here. Can you see my screen? Okay, so this is one of the techniques. This is a book with about 27 pages. So here we see one of the techniques for the IT band with an explanation, possible pains that it can solve, this particular technique. And then there will be some explanation for treatment as well. So what kind of position do you need to be in? Slowly moving around, how do you release muscle tension that is there? And how long should you be doing it for? So we have two ways for you to experience this yourself. One way would be to use the videos, and one way would be to use the book. So later on in the Telegram group, I will ask everybody if you want to have the book to send me your email address so I can give you access to this book. And as you can see, lower legs, self-massage, how to do different parts, the hamstrings, also known as the back of the leg, right there. Also great for when you're sitting a lot. The front that we just saw in the video. And there will also be stretch exercises that are connected to this. Go back to the original presentation. Oops, where are we now? Okay. So we're almost at the end of the session. I'll let everybody have a holiday and weekend after that. So just to quickly cover most of the things that we've done today. In terms of recovery, I have a couple of additional tips. Number one would be to experience foam rolling. And again, I will summarize what we've done today, and I will send the links to the ebook and to the video in the Telegram group. And I highly recommend everybody try this by either getting a foam roller or using a frozen bottle of water, which I guess everybody would have. The additional tips. Number one, don't run through pain. So if you are experiencing pain when you're running, do not try and run through it. It is generally not a wise idea. And if you're struggling with a pain that keeps coming back, please let me know. Number two, avoid the 2% loss. It's been shown that if you lose as much as 2% of your water level in your body, your performance can already go down. So when you are starting to do more running, make sure that you hydrate well, because you'll be losing a lot of fluid through sweating. Number three, strength training, and then specifically for the legs and for the hips and for the ankles, is just as important as the actual running. So on days where maybe you cannot run, don't be afraid to switch that out for strength training. We have a program that allows us to make programs and send it straight to your phone. The coming week, we'll talk a little bit more about that, and I will send everybody that is participating in an exercise program that you can do at home that will help you with stability training, stretching, and eventually also strength. Number four, that's the main topic we covered today, is self-massage. If you can't find a massage place and you have some painful muscles, how can you take care of those yourself? We have the ebook and we have the videos for that. And then five, check your movement or check the way that you move. Sometimes we don't know that our ankle is not very stable, or our knee is not very stable, or we put a lot more pressure on one leg versus the other. Most of these things can be analyzed. There's certain tests for it, and we have that planned for the week after the next. We'll be going through some self-analysis. If you want to get that done before that time, we do offer that at our studio. For now, it's not the most important part, but it will be coming up soon. Then last but not least, we have this on the side, the recovery checklist. I will send this to in the Telegram group, and these are main tasks that you should be doing pretty much daily, which is number one, sleep 6 to 8 hours every day. If you don't get this amount of sleep, make sure that the quality of your sleep is good, so you get enough deep sleep. Number two, hydrate, drink enough water. And more than 2 liters per day is more than 8 glasses. Eat 2 servings of fruit and vegetables every day. That should be enough to cover all your bases when it comes to minerals and vitamins. Then consume protein. Many people don't realize how important protein is as a building block to recover from training, also to support the immune system, to help your body recover, help your skin recover, your joints, your muscles, etc. So make sure that you're getting enough protein in. If you don't know how much you should be getting, ask me that question. I can cover that in the time or the session that we'll be having about nutrition. Then limit or cut out toxins and processed foods. So make sure you don't eat too much sugary foods, deep fried foods, alcohol, etc. And then last but very much not least is try self-massage. So that's the main topic that we covered. Once I sent over that material, I hope that everybody will give that a try. And if you did, please let me know afterwards how you liked it. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. We have a little bit more time left. I was going to ask everybody here in the chat box, please let me know if you have any questions about this topic today or about what you need to do for the coming week. No questions yet. Give it another minute or so. Not yet, no questions yet. So let's give it a minute. If there are no further questions, then I assume that everything is nice and clear to everybody. And then we're just gonna log off and enjoy our weekends. If you do have a question, please type it in the chat box so we can answer it. Also, please keep in mind that we are recording this session. So for everybody that missed it or has a certain part they want to watch again, once it's available, we'll send that forward in the group chat. So it seems like there's no pressing questions. If something comes up later on, feel free to drop it in the Telegram group. And thank you for taking time for this afternoon and joining. And I wish everybody a happy holiday for today and a very good weekend. And keep those screenshots coming. Keep running, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.